With the Arizona Cardinals and the rest of the NFL already in full swing of the second wave of free agency, is there any players that the Arizona Cardinals could potentially go after? Let's dive right into the top available free agents for the Arizona Cardinals to potentially target to make their team better in 2025. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content on this channel. We're covering the Arizona Cardinals news, breaking news, conversational pieces, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. And another thing is we are doing a jersey giveaway at the end of March. All the things that you need to know are going to be in the description below. Make sure you go and check out my Instagram and the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here as well. Everything will be in the description below as well. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals have been one of those teams that's absolutely improved drastically from 2024 to 2025, primarily on the defensive line, bringing in Josh Sweat, edge rusher, former Eagle, and of course Dalvin Tomlinson, bringing in some more beef on the defensive line, specifically in the interior. So the Arizona Cardinals have done a lot of good things, but there's still some needs that I would love the Cardinals to potentially address. And let's dive right into the top available free agents here for the Cardinals to potentially, go after, right? Now, shout out here to Roundtable Sports for this amazing graphic here showing us exactly who they feel like is the top free agents that are still available. Now, as of right now, where do I feel like the Cardinals can improve in, right? I do think that there's a couple different positions they can improve in, right? Now, wide receiver is still one of those things to me where I'm still kind of shocked, and I said this in multiple videos, why the Cardinals are going to try to run it back with the same wide receiving core. Now, I get it. We do have the draft. That's probably where the Arizona Cardinals are going to, address the wide receiving core, maybe bringing in somebody in the second, third round, or heck, maybe if they want to, bring in an Emeka Buka or Luther Burton, maybe use a first round pick on them. But I don't know. Right now, with where this roster is, I still do feel like the best way to allocate that 16th overall pick is going to be trenches, primarily the defensive line and primarily the edge to me. But, you can sway me for a Kenneth Grant. You can sway me for somebody in the interior as well, because the Cardinals can still definitely very well use some help, specifically young talent. Now, wide receiver, defensive line, as well as cornerback, to me, it's not one of those that I'm like, oh, you gotta go, right? Now, once we heard the whole thought that the Cardinals worked out with Asante Samuel, I was actually pretty excited about that. I really was. Now, what is the update with Asante Samuel right now? All we know is that they worked out with him. There was no contract extended. There was nothing given to him, or at least between the two parties. They didn't come to terms, right? I don't get it per se. I know this is still a pretty big name out there. Now, I have seen some things out there that maybe there's some medical concerns, right? But I don't know. I like our cornerback core, but I'm not going to lie to you. Bringing in somebody like Asante Samuel would be absolutely really, really cool for the Cardinals to potentially do that. Now, if they don't, no worries. No sweat off my back. Now, wide receivers, right? I ended up seeing something here on X/Twitter and I believe it's from around the NFL. They're linking Amari Cooper to the Arizona Cardinals again. Now, please keep in mind, they're not saying that there is sources saying that Amari Cooper is going to the Cardinals. No, they're just saying that where he would fit would be the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is not the first place we've seen a potential link from Amari Cooper to AZ, right? Now, let's talk about Amari Cooper here real quick, right? Now, he is, in his early 30s. The thing is that with Amari Cooper, the last that you've seen of him was when he got traded to the Buffalo Bills. He didn't really do much. He didn't really amount to anything with the Buffalo Bills. And when you kind of sit back and say, if you couldn't do anything with, Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, then maybe you might not be a good fit here for the Cardinals. But I'm going to go ahead and play a little devil's advocate here. The Arizona Cardinals can very well use a solid number 2 wide receiver. Now, yes, if you sit back and try to read to the comments and say, well, Mike Wilson is that guy. Yeah, he could very well be that guy as well. But right now, a prove-it guy, maybe Amari Cooper can potentially be that guy. Like I said, there's a lot of people linking him over here, right? And when you read all the description as to why they're saying coming over here, for different reasons, right? A veteran that's doing it in the NFL and somebody that can be able to mentor Marvin Harrison Jr., bringing that physicality to his game, that 50-50 ball to his game. Now, I have very, very high praises for Marvin Harrison Jr. going into his year 2. I think he's going to absolutely go off, but there's a lot of I want to say unknown with Mike Wilson. I do know he is a starting caliber wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be more of a 2 or a 3. So that's kind of my big concern right now. So Amari Cooper, it's intriguing. Would I, stomp the table for him? Probably not. But if he comes into the Arizona Cardinals, that does make our wide receiving core better. But I do think that the Cardinals most likely will go after somebody in the draft, primarily the slot. Now, there's a couple different wide receivers that I kind of are intrigued with, right? Like I said, I'm not going to pound the table for any of these guys, but I'm intrigued with, right? Tyler Lockett. Now, we've seen a former NFC West wide receiver go to another NFC West rival, right, with Cooper Kupp. He left the Rams, and now he is with the Seattle Seahawks. Why not former Seahawk come to the Arizona Cardinals? And here's the thing, right? Any of these contracts, whether it's Amari Cooper or a Tyler Lockett, they're probably going to be one-year deals. They're going to be probably veteran minimum. Now, keep in mind, we are in the second wave of free agency, so if they want to play football, they might not have a lot of options, or maybe they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. But at some point, these guys are probably going to sign to a NFL team. Tyler Lockett is intriguing, but if you're looking for a guy that's actually going to give you production, you can maybe give a 2-year deal, but obviously still a cheap 2-year deal. I really do like Elijah Moore, former Jet, former Brown. I believe he's going to be somebody that the Arizona Cardinals should potentially look at. I don't think the Cardinals, as of right now, I haven't heard anything that they have interest in Elijah Moore, but looking at his game, I don't know. I kind of feel like he kind of fell victim to obviously playing with an organization like the Jets, playing with an organization like the Browns. They just don't have really much stability. Now, I know, right? I'm what's that term? Calling the kettle black right now. Yes, okay, but the Cardinals seem to be trending in the right direction with this new regime with Monty Ossenfort. So I have faith that the Cardinals are going to be able to turn it around. But I feel like Elijah Moore should be a guy that the Cardinals should at least look at his way. Now, will the Cardinals do it? Probably not. They brought back Greg Dortch. They brought back Zay Jones. They probably seem to be confident in running with that wide receiving core. I don't know. I just have a little bit of a pause when it comes down to it. I think most likely they will be addressing it, like I said, multiple times in the draft, but there's still some intriguing wide receivers left in free agency as well. Now, edge rushers. I don't know if you guys heard. I don't know if you guys knew this, but this is still absolutely crazy to me. A guy that I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to potentially get in the trade deadline of last year is going to be none other than Azeez Ojulari. Has anybody seen this? This is absolutely crazy to me. It almost kind of feels like the Eagles are just outsmarting all these other teams in the NFL again. Like, that's what this feels like. Like Azeez Ojulari. Now, this actually came out several days ago, so this is not new breaking news, but Azeez Ojulari is no longer a free agent because he signed a 1-year deal, $4 million with the Eagles. It boggles my mind, man. $4 million on 1-year deal is probably something that I would probably go for if I was the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals. You got a guy with high upside. I get it. There's some injury concerns that come along with the Ojulari brothers in general. Obviously, we got BJ over here, and he really hasn't been productive in the regular season for the Cardinals. And then you got his brother that also deals with injuries as well. But 1 year, $4 million, that almost kind of feels like a no-brainer, especially if you wanted to take a swing on a guy like that. Now, what are the Cardinals going to do at this very moment, right? What are the top available free agents right now? The only one that I kind of have, somewhat of an interest in terms of like a veteran is going to be like a Zadarius Smith, right? A guy that still is able to do it year in and year out. Like, it doesn't really seem like he's missed a step. Now, obviously, he's getting up there in age. And he's in his 30s already. So somebody like that I would really like. So right now he's 32, or Matt Judon, right? Now he's 33 years old as well. There's not a lot of edge rushers that I want the Arizona Cardinals to absolutely go full throttle in. I know there's some people that kind of ask me, do I want Von Miller? I don't know, man. It just really depends on the price. And that goes for all of them, right? If we're talking about a veteran minimum 1-year deal on any of these guys, I think that would be something to obviously at least keep your eye on, right? Something to absolutely look forward to. Now, as of right now with the Arizona Cardinals edge core, whenever I'm doing mock drafts, I'm still going after defensive line. Like, if the Cardinals were to go after a Zadarius Smith or a Matt Judon, then when I do my mock drafts, I can go ahead and actually allocate that 16th overall pick to something else. But right now, with how it stands with the edge core, with the defensive line core, I'm still going edge. Like, I don't have the full confidence that we're going to have that dog opposite side of Josh Sweat. So if the Cardinals add more, they could still do it, right? Now, the cap space with Spot Track as well as Over the Cap, they do a fantastic job with obviously keeping an estimate on where teams are at in the NFL in terms of cap space. There's still several players for the Arizona Cardinals right now that are not allocated to the cap space. So you're seeing like $6 to $7 million for the Cardinals. That's not taking into account Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, Kelvin Beachum, Greg Dortch coming back, right? A lot of those guys that we brought in, there's still a lot of contracts not accounted for. So that $67 million that you're seeing right now on Wednesday, March 19th, is not accurate because they just don't have the exact contracts for those players. So they can't really obviously adjust the cap space accordingly. So do the Cardinals have some money? I mean, yeah, I think they have some money. I don't think they have a lot of money left, but I mean, they still can very well go after maybe one or two more players on a veteran minimum deal. And if you bring in, like, let's say, for example, in Amari Cooper, in Asante Samuel, Asa Darius Smith, Matt Judon, right, Tyler Lockett, those type of guys, these are guys that have been doing it years in the NFL, and I'm not mad at it. Like, I would actually kind of welcome those type of guys in here, whether it's because production or teaching these younger guys that we have on this roster to A, be pros or B, perfect their technique overall. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your overall thoughts? Are any of these guys on this list that you want the Arizona Cardinals to still reach out for? Let me know in the comments below. I still do think that there's a lot of good, talented players still left in Wave 2 of free agency. Will the Cardinals strike? We'll have to kind of wait and see what the Cardinals decide to do. But let me know what your guys' overall thoughts. Put it in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.